Hi, everybody. I'm Jake Wasson, MD. I'm not actually a doctor, but I'm going to play some songs for you tonight. And this is one of them. I used to hate my life, 'cause I worked all the time. And now, I hate my life 'cause I'm broke. Every wasted night, that's a different reason why I can't get it under control. And I write down all these lines, again and again, like I'm praying a rosary. Like maybe this Hail Mary isn't just like the one before. Like maybe this blank page is something more. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right, 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 right. Used to think that I had something special to say, and now I see that everything's been said. Wouldn't it be nice if I could say it in a way that resonates someplace outside my own head? So I go out and I buy new notebooks all the time, like one of them will hold the spark that makes the lyrics worth more than the page they're written on, like the binding or the line width makes the song. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right, 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 right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right. Lord, I'm trying so hard to do right, 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 right. So that's a song called Do Right. And it's about doing things wrong. Mostly. This next one, it's a song about being unstable. It's called Even Out. That's the only part that I've got down. And for you, it's always been a verb. And I know, 'cause of how I sabotage it all and how you stuck around to accept the love that we think we deserve. I got knots in my neck from banging my head against my bed, screaming into a pillow till I see stars and make a wish. Know like you got nothing better to do, 'cause I'm gonna get better soon as I even out. I'm gonna get better soon as I even out. is catching your throat. And I know that it's wrong to beg you not to be long gone. I swear to God that I feel every note. Like I've always felt it all, but never quite knew what to do. If you look and look time after time, I'll be waiting for you. And if you keep hanging on like you got nothing better to do, then I'm gonna get better soon as I even out. I'm gonna get better soon as I even out. Well, I could clean up my act, but I got habits that distract me. And nobody in this town is quite like you. But if you just shut up and listen, you would see that there's a difference between maliciousness and the foolish things I do. I'd sell my soul to keep you, but nobody would buy. The devil told me he's paid less for better merchandise. But if you keep hanging on like you got nothing better to do, then I'm gonna get better as soon as I even out. And if you keep hanging on like you got nothing better to do, then I'm gonna get better soon as I even out. Yeah. Thanks, man. Shout out to Jen, by the way. I have a brand new old suitcase that I'm using as a bass drum that she found on the side of the road and told me about, and I went and got it, and now it's on stage with me. Let's see here. This is a song about a car accident that almost happened. It's out there on various streaming platforms. It's called Too Far Gone. Says she believes in me like some folks believe in Bigfoot. Can't prove it to anyone, but she's pretty sure I'm real. But she screams a different tune when I'm driving her drunk ass home. Says she'd like to kill us both and grabs hold of the wheel. Yeah, get us off the highway and she bolts. I'm worried, so I park the cars. We're downtown and it's late, and she's wasted with no phone, and no, we're not too far from home. There is no telling where she'll go when she's not thinking straight. What more can I do but say I'm sorry? Seems to me I always get it wrong. I can't figure out who you're hoping I will be, but why keep hoping if I'm too far gone? I'm watering my pain with cheap whiskey, where the smell of piss was 6 feet from the bathroom to the bar. Woman's got my brain all tangled up and twisted, thinking that it's all my fault that she tried to crash my car. And as I'm walking home, I pass a fountain. I try to throw my change in hard enough to break the ice, but it ricochets away onto the pavement with my prayer. Dear God, just show me how to treat her right. say I'm sorry. Seems to me I always get it wrong. I can't figure out who you're hoping I will be, but why keep hoping if I'm too far gone? Saying I've ever been a genius or an angel. Got a silver tongue and a foolish heart and a wandering eye. Had a couple of years to think, and the only thing I can't do is figure out how her sins weren't every bit as bad as mine. I got memories I can't talk about, secrets I can't tell, things I wish I never had to learn about myself. Though I'm disillusioned, I still flinch at sudden movements, and I hope her heart ain't breaking someone else. What more can I do but say I'm sorry? Seems to me I always get it wrong. I can't figure out who you're hoping I will be, but why keep hoping if I'm too far gone? Thanks, y'all. All right, so I got one more in my little arsenal for this evening. This song is in the long tradition of songs about love that didn't work out. You know, sometimes it's just how it is, man. You know, you do your best, and it's just not meant to be. And this is a song about being ready to do anything it takes. I mean, absolutely anything to never talk to that person again. This is the Eucalyptus song. Go listen to it. Eucalyptus, so I'm growing a whole damn grove of eucalyptus trees. With my cough drops and koalas, I'll breathe easy and have all the love I need. Oh yes, indeed. Oh yeah, I'll disconnect my phone and live alone in my eucalyptus grove, and I know that gal will never bother me. Oh yeah, she'll I'll be free to stay at home or roam, and all these overly specific words keep falling out my mouth till no one wants to take me, just in case it all goes south. Says I don't deserve the good things I got. She's probably gonna try to put a hex on me. So I hung out with some witches. They taught me a couple tricks to protect my energy. Oh yes, indeed. Yeah, I got amethyst around my neck and sigils in my wallet, and I know that gal will never bother me. Oh yeah, she'll leave me alone, and I'll be free to stay at home or roam, and all these overly specific words keep falling out my mouth till no one wants to date me, just in case it all goes south. Don't get me wrong, it's not as if I wish you ill, just that every time we speak that is exactly how I feel. I am for real when I say just leave me alone. And please, oh please, oh please, will you stop blowing up my phone in the middle trigger weeks ago, and now you're out of luck. She hates the gray of the winter, so I'm moving the Kamchatka across the Bering Sea with a giant wall of ice all around my spacious cabin and a dozen polar bears. Oh yes indeed, oh yes indeed. And if these measures seem insane, I've just tried to beat her at her own game to make sure that gal will never bother me. Oh yeah, she'll leave me alone. I'll be free to stay at home or roam. And all these overly specific words keep falling out my mouth till no one wants to date me, just in case it all goes south. Till no one wants to date me, just in case it all goes south. Yeah.
guys can drink and check out the artists. And thanks. This week we had Jake Wasson just kind of like came in and did the thing. Sounded really good.
Thank you.
I know you said you were kind of feeling under the weather. I think a lot of people can relate. It's just that time of year. But I think you still hit the high note. I heard it. You were good.
Thank you.
So you did a couple songs for us today, and you mentioned the fabulous new suitcase that you had there. And I just wanted to ask you about like playing out, performing as a solo one-man band kind of thing. What would you tell people is the hardest thing about this?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I would say keeping a steady beat with my foot is hard. Like I've seen people who can do like more intricate rhythms, like they'll have like both feet going with like a kick drum and like a tambourine or something. They play like actual beats. I can't do that. I just do a stompy thing.
Give it time.
Yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you'll definitely perfect it. And you play pretty frequently around town, right?
Yeah.
And I think I saw you have a show coming up.
Yes. So I've up until pretty recently, I've just done the one-man band thing, but in the past year or so, I've started playing out with a three-piece with Zach Wedge and Brian Fink. We've got a show on October 21st at dusk with Jake McKelvey and the Countertops, Jake Hunsinger and the Rock Bottom Band, and Electric Paisan, whose name is not Jake, but he put the thing together, and he's a good dude, so we love him.
It's Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe.
It's close enough to Jake, okay? Joe was on the show a couple weeks back and really killed it. Yeah. And I think that lineup sounds really stacked. Sounds like a good show.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back, like the kind of music that Joe does, Electric Paisan, and it's very similar to this like kind of style of songs that you do.
Yeah.
Not the same like musical style, but I think the context of the music is kind of like parallel.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, like Joe and I are friends. We've played a ton of shows together, and I think a lot of, I don't know, maybe our influences kind of come from similar places, or like maybe not exactly the same, but kind of adjacent. You know, so it's like we fit together really well on a bill, and the same goes for Jake Hunsinger and Jake McKelvey, he's not a Rhode Island person, but like, it's just a great bill all around.
So I know that show's at dusk, and I normally seen you here at the Parlour on Wednesdays for the open mic, right? Yeah. Which, if you guys haven't checked out Wednesday open mics, highly recommend. What would you say to somebody who wants to come out to the open mic and try it, based on your experience?
Get here early.
Yeah, definitely. The list fills up fast. There's a lot of people who love it, and it come out every week. I've seen you up here a couple weeks. Actually, I think I did a video of you.
That's right.
Recently for surprise. If anybody doesn't know, I do run the Parlour Facebook and Instagram. Check it out. Follow us. Make sure you are. Like I was gonna say, I did a video of you. I listened to the song a couple of times after I did the video, and I was like, wow, I really relate to the content of the song. And it seemed to me like that you put a lot of like your personal lived experience into your music, for better or for worse.
Yes.
How does that impact like, playing out? Like
So it's funny because like, I mean, at least, right now, and hopefully this won't always be for the case. I would love to be super famous one day. But at least for the time being, most of the people who come to my shows are my friends, so they pretty much know what's going on in my life anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of funny, like sometimes I'll throw a line into a song and like I'll watch one of my friends hear it for the first time and just like know exactly what it's about. Yeah. And they're like, I know what you're singing about right now. So it's like, it's nerve-wracking sometimes because there's a bit of oversharing, I think, that's like necessary for the lyrics. But
it just makes it easier when most of your friends are musicians,
Right.
Like, shout out Jen. Because then it's like they relate to that. Like it's sort of like you're putting your, not just your art out there and like your music out there, but you're putting your soul out there too.
Right.
Which a lot of music, I would say, that is popular, like the famous people, they ain't doing all that.
True. True. Yeah.
So good for you. I think it's nice to hear too, like somebody getting up here and being just like vulnerable, putting some stuff out there that is for better, for worse, and good job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So other than the show in October, what other stuff you got going on?
Let's see. God, I really should have like checked all the dates
Ah.
before I got up here, but I've been playing a lot of like breweries and restaurants and stuff lately, like just kind of just solo. Like I'll play in the background for like 2 or 3 hours. I just played at Moniker and Shades On yesterday.
Nice.
I'm back at Moniker again at least one other day this month. I can't remember when.
So are you playing? So when you do your one-man band performances, you're playing mostly guitar and harp. And do you play anything else?
I mean, live, I typically don't. I do play a little banjo, mandolin, ukulele, bass. What else do I play? I used to play saxophone back in the day. I haven't touched it in years.
Nice.
Yeah, I play a bunch of stuff, and like that tends to happen. That stuff comes out more when I record. Like when I'm playing live, I tend to just stick with the guitar just because it's simple and I know it really well. So.
Is that what you started playing when you first started playing music? Was guitar?
Yeah. I mean, technically, I actually started playing sax first when I was in like 5th grade.
Band geek.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I played alto sax up until high school, and then I switched to bari sax. But I haven't played it in years. But I started playing guitar when I was like 12 or so, and all the other stuff with strings kind of came later. And same with harmonica. It's like a more recent thing. Yeah.
So yeah, you started pretty young for playing guitar, and I'm sure it really helped you a lot get through those awkward teen years.
Yeah. You know, I tell people I'm not gonna lie. I started playing guitar to impress girls, and it didn't work. It made no difference whatsoever. And so all I did was sit around at home, and I was either playing guitar or playing video games, and I got pretty good at both of them. So like, it all kind of worked out, I guess.
And when it comes to like songwriting and stuff too, it is really helpful, you know, rather than having like my dear diary in your teenage years, just put it into song, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, guitar and a little bit of everything else that's string related. That's
pretty
awesome.
much, yeah.
And you mentioned recording. So like what have you done with your music as far as recording goes?
Okay, so like 8 or 9 years ago, I put out a full-length album. It's still there on Bandcamp. It doesn't sound anything like what I do now, to be totally honest. I was listening to a lot of Fleet Foxes at the time, and I think I was trying to make that happen kind of poorly. But more recently, over the past year or so, I've been slowly releasing an EP, one song at a time. And I've got 5 out of 6 songs out now, and I'm hoping to get number 6, which was I think it was the second song I played, Even Out. That's going to be the last one that drops, and hoping to have that out very soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
One man band, one song at a time.
Yeah, and it's tricky too because like I do all of the production, like all the vocals, all the instruments, all the mixing, mastering. It's all me. I even do the album art myself. So it's like lots of times I'll have something like 90% recorded, and then like the limiting factor is I haven't drawn anything for it yet, and then I'm like, I don't want to do that, So
just that one last thing. Yeah. That usually. That's the perfectionist in me is just like so hard relates. It's like that one thing that keeps it from being done.
Right.
No, but that's impressive that your creative process includes like the multitude of it from start to finish.
Thanks.
It's also like really, a lot of pressure and good, but it's good to have that much control over it too.
Yeah. It's like it's more pressure in a way, just because like if I don't do any aspect of it, then it just doesn't get done. But it's less pressure at the same time because I don't have deadlines, but that's kind of a double-edged sword in and of itself because it means that, it takes me a year and a half to put out an EP, but, so it goes. Yeah,
show me a musician that doesn't have, like, some kind of struggles with deadlines or ADD, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, and I will be very shocked. But yeah, I mean, for you, like doing the one-man band and then doing the all-encompassing like recording thing, and then how has that, like, you said you kind of went a different direction musically since that? Like, how do you think that influence came about?
Well, I don't know. I think as I started to write more of my own songs, I started to find that my voice as a songwriter just lends itself more to like a bluesy, rockish, kind of punkish thing that I do than anything else. Just because like that's where my inspiration comes from lyrically. Like a lot of the artists that I really like are kind of in that vein. And I think earlier on when I started recording, maybe I was like trying to, like I had a specific way that I wanted it to sound, and I sort of decided on that. And I was like, okay, how do I make that happen? As opposed to just writing stuff and it just sounds how it sounds, which is what I do now. So
Yeah, that really hits home to me, because it's like the evolution of an artist as they're trying to like kind of put out their art, and like you have a narrative in your mind of like, I want to be a performer and I want it to sound like this, but then once you start doing that, you're like, actually my voice is not what I thought it was. I'm gonna go in this. And it's great that you just so naturally like went with it, because a lot of people do push hard. There's like something about the social media and like Instagram and Facebook and everything, that like aesthetic that really has too much say over people sometimes, and they like won't put out stuff if it doesn't vibe with their whole aesthetic. And it's like, just be chaotic, just go with it. It's a creative process, like really.
Just make chaos your brand, and you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Keep them guessing at every turn. Hey, it's like that addictive, because you kind of want to watch the train wreck, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
But yeah, I think like it's really a compliment to you that you've put in so much work and you've just been kind of chugging away performing, that you actually got to that point, because a lot of people don't.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you were to talk to baby Jake, other than, life stuff, as far as music goes, what advice would you want to give yourself?
Just, you can do more than you think, I think is what it boils down to. I think I've kind of, in the past, have sort of limited myself. I've just kind of decided, like, oh, no, I wouldn't be able to do that, But lately I've just been like, let's see what happens, and it tends to work out well. And I think that maybe that mentality sort of stopped me from playing out more when I was younger, stopped me from like trying to form a band or anything like that. And now I'm just like, hey, the world's on fire anyway. Just do whatever you want and see where it takes you.
Seriously. Yeah. And you don't know how much like you might be impacting or helping other people by doing the thing that you do, So it's like, just stop limiting yourself from doing it, because it might have an influence on other people that would help more than just yourself when you do this, especially when you share like very vulnerable stuff in your music, because then it kind of gives people the license. They feel like they can do that too.
Right.
They see a average Jake doing a one-man band thing, and they're like, I think I can do that too. Let me get up there and try it. So,
I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, if you keep that as like the basis of your music and like your career and stuff, like you will get very far, honestly, because if you just realize like me doing this and being authentic inspires other people to do it, then I mean, the universe supports that and definitely pushes you forward in ways that you can't even predict.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And again, I just, thanks again for coming out and supporting the Parlour too.
Absolutely.
I know you're here. Yeah, exactly. For many, many. You have a big presence in the community. I think like a lot of people around town recognize your name at least. And like you probably have a roster of artists you've performed with that like you guys all support each other.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's it. That's what it culminates into. It's like you keep doing your thing, you be authentic, you inspire other people, and then those people will find you, and then you'll start to build it together. That's kind of like, I don't know.
Right.
It might be cheesy, but that's the mission.
No, I mean, I agree. Yeah.
And I think the Parlour obviously is one of those kinds of places that supports that type of community for musicians.
Absolutely.
And Dusk. Shout out to Dusk.
Yeah. I love Dusk too. Yeah, I think the Parlour open mic was not the very first, but one of the first places that I played out in Rhode Island. And I think this is sort of where I found a community, Like I think the first place I ever played was actually Power's Pub. Hey. Shout out to Jen over there. We played a couple shows together out there. Yeah, I mean, like that was fun, but it's in Patuxent Village. You know, not a lot of people really come out to shows there, so it kind of wasn't really part of the scene in a way. You
Right.
know, like it didn't really introduce me to like other musicians in the area for the most part. So like the Parlour is kind of where I found that.
Yeah, and then from here is usually like a jumping off point of like, oh, there's the Askew, and then there's Dusk.
Right, right.
Even Galactic Theater, like shout out to
Yeah,
them.
I love Galactic.
Yeah, there's definitely like these like I would say brother and sister like type of places around town that the
community
always seems to flock to.
Yeah.
Or like
Definitely.
gather from.
Yeah.
What other like places do you play like for open mic? Just the Parlour?
I play at Askew sometimes.
Mhm.
I haven't been there in a couple of weeks, but they do have a good open mic there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I mean, like those are kind of the main. Those are the main open mics that I play at. I used to do Madcap when that was a thing.
Oh yeah. Do you ever
but-
do any like busking?
Yes, I've actually been busking since I was 16 years old.
Wow. All right.
Like basically since I had a driver's license, I've been
Mhm.
like driving to various downtown areas and playing music for whoever will listen, and some people who won't.
Yeah.
And,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
have you gotten in any trouble?
Not really. I mean, the worst thing that's ever happened is I've had cops like tell me that I have to move.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like that's not a big deal, you know, because I just like go to a different street and keep playing. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah, there was actually when I was like I don't know, like 24 or 25, there was a summer when I supported myself entirely by busking, and it actually went pretty well. It was in Bloomington, Illinois.
Nice.
I haven't been able to pull it off in Providence, but you know, it's
Not
like,
surprised.
yeah.
You have any weird busking stories?
Oh my God, so many, so many.
Other than Illinois, what's the like weirdest place that you've?
So like I grew up in Springfield, Missouri,
Okay.
and it's about a 24-hour drive from here. I know because I've done that drive several times, and it's not fun. But actually, it is kind of fun. But anyway, it wasn't really a weird place. It was just like a weird thing that happened in Springfield one time. There was this guy that I would see out, and he would always like stop and listen to me, and then he would like come up and he would like introduce himself as if he had never met me before, and it was like, you know, like I forget stuff. You know, like I've definitely had people come up to me and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you been?" And I like have no idea
Oh,
who this
yeah.
person is. Like that
All the
happens. I
time.
get it. But like this dude would come up to me and he'd be like, "Hey, my name is this." And then the next time he saw me, he would be like, "Hey, my name is this other thing." Like he gave me a different name every single time. This happened 4 or 5 times. And then one night I'm out playing again, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like listening to me play, and I'm like, by this point, I kind of know, like he's just gonna be weird, like just some weird stuff is gonna happen, because it was always the case with this guy, and I finished playing, and it's like late at night. It was like around bar close time. It's like when I tended to busk, and this guy's like hanging around as I'm playing my last couple of songs, and then I finished playing. And he goes, "Hey, my name is this other thing that I made up just now." Like it was yet another like made up name. And he goes, "Hey, can I get a ride home?" And I was like, "No, no, absolutely not." You know. And he's like, "Well, why not? Like you know me, like we've met." I'm like, "Yeah, we've met. You've given me a different name every time I've seen you, dude. Like I don't know you like that." And like we went back and forth for like a couple minutes, and finally I just walked away, and luckily he didn't follow me or anything. But like that was super weird.
It's multiple personalities.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know if he like thought like I don't know if he was like in his mind he was telling me the truth, or if he was like messing with me, or what was going on. It was super weird.
Yeah, I think busking does attract just like lonely people.
Yeah,
who wanna talk
I
to
get. I've had
someone.
so many just weird conversations with people. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, to anybody who's like, "Oh, I don't want to try busking after this."
No, do it.
Yeah.
Please do it. It's so much fun.
It's worth
like,
it for all the weirdos that you meet. Actually.
yeah, like I mean, you know, as long as you're like, you know, be smart about it. You know, you don't want to be like walking down dark alleys with a guitar case full of cash. You know, like that ends badly. But
Yeah. And don't bring out like your favorite guitar because something might happen to it.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like if you can play a few songs and you know you you like performing, like busking is a lot of fun. I would recommend it to anyone, really.
Get the nerves off. and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, your guitar is pretty nifty looking, actually. I'm
Thanks.
like, yeah, I like all the stickers. I actually know most of these bands from playing at the Parlor, so
Nice.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I saw on your Instagram you have a multitude of instruments.
I do.
Is this your favorite guitar?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I really have a favorite. Like, it is it's the guitar I've had the longest that I still play.
Old Faithful.
Yeah, I've had it since I was like probably 14 or so.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a Tacoma, which is a company that no longer exists. And it's just beat to hell. You know, I've done all my own repairs on it, and it's ugly, but it plays great. Yeah.
So relatable. Do you name your instrument? You don't have to share.
Yeah, no, I do. So like the main electric guitar that I play is it's a PVT 60, and like any guitar nerds out there will know that those guitars are primarily known for being ridiculously heavy. It weighs like 10 pounds. So I named that one Deadweight.
Nice.
And I haven't actually said this out loud. My guitars used to have different names. They all used to have human names. And then like as I got older, like I named them when I was like 15 years old, you know, just like as I got older, I was like, this doesn't fit. This feels weird. So I've
they
been
have
like
dead names?
Yeah. You could say that. Yeah, I guess they kind of have dead names. So like this guitar now I have decided recently is named Taco.
Oh, nice. Oh, perfect. Yep.
Because of that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but if you cover up the MA in Tacoma, it just says Taco. So that's this guitar's name now.
Cute.
Yeah.
You need a taco sticker on it, though.
I do. I do. You know, I have a whole stack of hot dog stickers for some reason, that my friend Hannah made. And yeah, I could put one of those on there, but it wouldn't make any sense.
Hot dog taco?
Yeah, you know, various snacks.
Oh, wow. Well, all right, Jake. Thank you so much for coming and doing the podcast today. I
Thanks
think,
for having me.
you know, like I was saying, I would recommend anybody to come on down and like check out the open mic. You'll probably see Jake here playing. If you can't make it on Wednesdays, go to the show at dusk. I think it was called what, Jake'sercise?
Yeah, Jake's Accessorize, a Halloween flannel fest. Come dressed as your favorite Jake.
So on the 21st, you'll see him performing these songs again. And yeah, is there anything else you want to like shout out to the viewers at home?
I love the Providence music scene, and I love all of you, whoever is watching right now. And
yeah, we really do appreciate you guys checking out the Between the Notes podcast every week on Mondays, streaming at 7. And we want to shout out the sponsors to R1 Karting, Indoor Karting, and Gray Sail Brewing, and Trinity Beer Garden, and of course, The Parlor. And this is presented by Motif Magazine. Shout out to them as well. Thank you guys so much, and we will check you next week.
Thanks.
Thanks.